Almost heaven. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than...
Welcome back to another episode of The Faces of ROCOR, one of the strangest shows on the internet right now.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads.
Today's episode is called 6 Ways to Keep Your Sanity During COVID. Now, clearly this is not about me because I have no problems in that area. Definitely not losing my mind on the 4th month of lockdown. Nope. Got it all together. Anyway, the 6 ways that you can keep your sanity during COVID. Number 1, don't be a boneless orthodox chicken. Number 2, listen to the Franciscan monk. Number 3, build yourself a monastery. Number 4, feed the mule. Or is it a goat? Nope, it's a mule. And whatever happened to the dog in episode 24? Hello, dog. Here he is. See? He's right here. Say hi, Grizzly. Here you go. You're a good boy. There's the dog. That's right. All you conspiracy theorists out there who have been blowing up my messenger over the last few weeks about where is the dog and what happened to the dog. Well, he's right here. But anyway, that's number 4, feed the mule. Number 5, don't be an orthodox wimp. And number 6, keep it smooth and shiny. Makes perfect sense, right?
Is that clear as mud?
There is one more thing that I have to admit before we move any further today. And, well, I'm not wearing any pants.
What in the world is this?
I will tell you why at the end of this episode. And not like the last time where I said that I would show you the dog and then there was no dog. See, there's the dog. So I will tell you why I'm not wearing any pants. But Father John Moses, we started talking about him in episode 23. By the way, what happened after episode 23? My Lord Almighty. That's going to be the next episode. We're going to dedicate an entire episode to what you did after episode 23. That's how awesome it is. But Father John Moses, we've been talking a lot about him. His 1st year anniversary of his repose is coming up on July 25th. And one of the things that Father John had was this gift of gab, as his daughter called it. He knew how to talk. And so how do I explain that to you? Well, very simple. Number 1, don't be a boneless orthodox chicken. Huh? I mean, come on. Have you noticed how so many people suddenly are coming out as boneless orthodox chickens and questioning our faith? Have you not been on Facebook in the last 4 months? Have you not seen how us super orthodox Christians are down each other's throats about literally everything? So let's just jump right into this. Here are sound bites from one of the best lectures, or I guess seminar we can call it, that Father John Moses ever did. This was in 2012. He was speaking to a group of Orthodox youth about how to live a balanced Orthodox life. And everything that he said is so relevant to us today. Hello, dog. I told you there was a dog, by the way. Whoever said there wasn't a dog, he's right here. Yeah. He's saying, Papa, stop yapping and cut right to the first soundbite. So anyway, here we go. Number 1, how to keep your sanity during COVID. Don't be a boneless Orthodox chicken. Father John, take it away.
There are some people who are ultra-orthodox. They're rigid, they're fundamentalist in their orthodoxy. They follow the extreme letter of the law. Have you ever met any? I have. Especially when I first started, we seemed to have a whole bunch of ultra-orthodox that came to All Saints. And oh, the trouble they caused. Oh my goodness, it was a real struggle. Because it is possible to be an Orthodox Pharisee. It is. To have the form, to follow the rules rigidly, and have the form of orthodoxy, but what's in the heart? That's another issue. Now the other side of it, we call amorphodox. An amorphous, flaccid, overly flexible application of the faith. Have you met these folks? I have. If you're familiar with Gary Larson, you're familiar with his cartoons, and since you can go to the grocery store and get boneless chicken, there must be a boneless chicken ranch. So we drew a cartoon of a boneless chicken ranch. And the chickens are flopped over the fences and they're all laying around because they have no bones to get up and to go. Well, there can be boneless chicken orthodoxy. I mean, how are you orthodox without the skeletal framework of the disciplines of our faith? Where's your strength? How can you stand without the bones and the skeletal framework of our disciplines? And you become boneless. This keeps jumping around. So what I want to say is there's a balance between the two, and that's where we find a joyous Orthodox life.
So please, no boneless Orthodox chickens. The next piece of advice. Listen to the Franciscan monk. What is he talking about?
Did you ever meet Sherman on the Mount? This is a cartoon back in the 70s and 80s. And Sherman was a little Franciscan monk. And he had a lot of adventures, but his favorite saying was, moderation in all things, but don't overdo it. So there's balance. And surprisingly, the key to a balanced Orthodox life is asceticism. Now, before you get too nervous, let me explain. I thought asceticism was just for monks. Is it? No, because Jesus said, pick up your cross, deny yourself, and follow me. Did he just say that to monks or priests? No, he said it for all of us. This is the clearest, most concise definition of asceticism. Pick up your cross, deny yourself, and follow me.
By this point, I think you got the hint that these titles are not completely off the wall and crazy. I may be, but this episode is not. So, number 3, build yourself a monastery. Come on, I know that's your number one concern right now during COVID, right? How am I going to build my own monastery? That's what everybody's thinking about. And you should be, because that is yet another way how you can keep your sanity during COVID. But where, my dear friends, where is your monastery?
I want to show you a picture of my monastery. There she is. If I cannot practice the virtues of chastity, obedience, submitting my will, confessing my faults, being forgiving and kind with her, how am I going to do it out there? She's my monastery and I'm hers. And together we work out our salvation. And we come to realize that all the junk I have in me is the material that helps make her holy. And all the junk she has in her is the material that makes me holy. And we work out our salvation. I have another monastery. My children. if I can't practice patience and love and forbearance and forgiveness and submission and serving their needs, if I can't do that with them, how am I going to do it out there? I have another monastery, my church. Other people in my church, sometimes mean, short-sighted, stubborn, obstinate. Yeah. But if I can't practice patience and forbearance and love and forgiveness and submission and come to serve them, then if I can't do it, how am I going to do it out there? This is where I practice my asceticism.
And number 4, feed the mule. It's definitely not goat, right? Because there was a whole thing about a goat. Feed the mule. So feed the mule.
Now let me make one thing really, really clear. And this is really important. If we do not adopt the discipline, we don't adopt the disciplines to make God love us. And even if we never fast, if we never pray, if we never attend church, if we never even think of him, does he still love us? Absolutely. He loves us whether we do any of those things. That's not the problem. The problem is that if I don't do these things, I stay sick spiritually. It doesn't mean God stops loving me. I just stay sick. So what I got to do is feed the mule. There's a story of a farmer who had a mule, and the mule was one of the hardest working mules in the county. Everyone in the county realized that the success of this farmer depended entirely upon this mule. Pulled the plow, brought in the harvest. Everyone wanted to buy this mule because it was a fabulous animal. Well, one day the farmer walks into the barn. He says, you know, I think I'm going to cut the feed in half. And if I cut the feed in half, I'm going to save a lot of money. But let's see what happens to the mule. So he cuts the feed in half. The mule keeps working the same way it always has. Wonderful. I'm still bringing in the crops. I'm saving money. Some time goes by. He says, I'm going to cut it in half again. Let's see what happens. He cuts the feed in half. The mule kind of struggles now, but it still gets the job done. He saved even more money, and he still has his mule. This goes on for a while until one day he comes into the barn, and the mule is dead. You got to feed the mule. Do you have a mule? It's called your soul. And you can cut the feed, and the soul will keep working. But if you keep cutting the feed, what will happen? Your soul will die. Meaning that when you finally come to a time in your life when you really need the strength of your soul to get you through hard times, and my beloved friends, I would pray that you never have a hard moment in your life, but you know as well as I do that there are going to be hard times for you in the future, as there is for all of us. But when those times come, will there be any strength of the soul to get you through? It depends entirely on how much you feed the mule or how much you cut the feed.
So now that we've covered how to feed the mule and why you have to feed the mule, let's move on to number 5. Don't be an orthodox wimp. It's so simple. Toughen up, boys. Ain't no room for wimps in orthodoxy. Do not be an orthodox wimp.
Because what we want is muscular orthodoxy. We want muscular orthodoxy, not wimpy orthodoxy. We want muscular orthodoxy. St. Paul, again, goes through a list. There's a phrase in the King James Version that says, be not effeminate. And that has nothing to do with the wonderful qualities of women. That's not what he's talking about. But he goes on to give a list. 3 days and 3 nights swimming in the ocean for his life. Beaten with stripes, 40 stripes 3 times. Cast into prison. Hungry, thirsty, hated, pursued. On down the list he goes. And you can't get to church because it's raining? Really? Because it's raining, you can't get to church. We need muscular orthodoxy.
All right, my fellow tough guys. Are you ready for the last one? Number 6. How to keep your sanity during COVID. Keep it smooth and shiny.
Life is a struggle. I remember seeing I've seen it in other places, but a sign on the door that said, "Be kind to everyone you meet, because everyone is fighting a fierce battle." A great admonition. Hard to remember when you're out on the highway and somebody cuts you off to be kind. But life is a struggle. It truly is. The question is, will we have the strength to fight? You can't be in life and not struggle. That's not the option. The only option is, will I struggle well with muscles and courage and faith and strength of heart, or not? Because we have enemies, visible and invisible. How will we fight? Will we fight well? Because the world is like a tumbler, as one of the fathers said, and into it we go, and we tumble about. But God has a purpose in that. I read the other day where one of the desert fathers said, you know, your enemies are artists. They're sculptors. And through what they say and do to you, they take the chisel and they chip away to create a beautiful statue. I had never thought of that. That my enemies are the ones that God uses to chisel away to make me into the image of what it is He wants me to be. Interesting. What happens when the stones tumble in the tumbler for a long time? What happens? How do they come out? Maybe you've never done that, or have never seen it. The rocks go in, the little motor, it turns and turns and turns for days. Days and days this thing turns and the rocks tumble. And when they come out, how are they? Smooth and shiny. Smooth and shiny. Don't you wish it were different? It was easier? Sometimes I do, but that's the way it is.
Man, do I miss Father John. I wish he was around right now, because I think he would have some pretty hilarious things to say about COVID. Oh, that's right. Why am I not wearing any pants? I mean, think about it. It's hot, and that's why I'm not wearing any pants. I'm wearing shorts. That's it. Nothing to look into there. Please, please, meme creators on the internet, don't destroy me for that. Anyway, try and not go insane right now. Thank you so much for watching this show. Please, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and stay tuned, because there is something coming. There is some awesome, awesome stuff coming up. Thank you so much. God bless you.
The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia.